Day 2 of the Pastoral Week celebration saw in attendance the principal agents of evangelization, co-workers with the bishop, his immediate collaborators, that is, the priests, religious men and women, and the catechists. It is this set who primarily, through their ministry, must go out as missionaries to bring hope to a hopeless people, especially taking the particular case of the Diocese of Kumba, crippled by the socio-political crisis, where many Christians have their houses burnt down, many internally displaced persons, insecurity, hopelessness in life caused by hunger, poverty, unemployment, the very many vulnerable women and girls as victims, sickness and disease. These are people to whom and among whom this set of people must minister. Yet, they must bring hope to the faithful, as Jesus said in his mantra and policy speech before his public ministry. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, to proclaim release to captives, recovery of sight to the blind, to set prisoners free, to set free the oppressed. Luke chapter 4, verses 18 and 19. In a word, to bring hope to the hopeless. The bishop expressed his gratitude seeing the massive turnout. He encouraged these agents of evangelization to be men and women of hope, first to themselves, then to the people. They are wounded healers, themselves in need of hope, yet must bring hope to a hopeless people.
Dear Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, our dear catechists, it's always an occasion of joy and a lot of expectation on the part of a bishop when he meets his closest collaborators, because there is nothing a bishop can do in a diocese without the priests, without the consecrated men and women, and of course the catechists. You are very important in the work of evangelization in any particular church, and particularly in our diocese. So I will begin first by welcoming you, thanking you for the work that you are doing, especially for the past pastoral year. And to be honest with you, for the past 8 years, I've always been exhorting and thanking the priests and of course the religious and the catechists. You have brought hope to the people in this diocese because of the socio-political crisis we have gone through, which escalated even into a civil war. Your presence and what you have been doing has brought hope to the people. Imagine that there was a time that there were about 12 parishes not functioning in this diocese because of the socio-political crisis, but the priests were present there. They were there, but the people were not there. You brought hope to them. If you had left those places, I doubt whether today you have any soul there. So by being present, you don't know what you are doing to the people of God. And of course, it's like laying down your life. You are white martyrs by laying down your lives for your people. The number today is wonderful. You must acknowledge that this year is wonderful, and I pray that as it is like this, that's how everything will unfold during this pastoral year.
The bishop reminded them of how much the people look up to them, priests, religious and catechists, for answers, because they are their hope. Let them not despair, even amidst difficulties.
Don't despair when you meet those difficulties. Only look up to Christ. For the Holy Father says we should move in the footsteps of Christ.
Jesus himself faced difficulties, but he did not give up. Even when the very people to whom he administered laughed at him, provoked him, teased him, and even killed him.
Even Christ himself met with difficulties. Those that he loved and died for them, some were still laughing at him on the cross. That if you save others, you save yourself. So right to that point, people were still not believing in him and laughing and mocking at him. So you are not different.
As the previous day, Fathers Jesse Kamchu and Irenaeus Junior Efo presented a summary of the Holy Father's message.
So we're deliberating on the message of Pope Francis of blessed memory.
Three headings and a conclusion. The Holy Father calls the task around following Christ as the ideal.
Thereafter, Reverend Father Raphael Ebune Ndode, in his presentation, demonstrated methods through which and by which priests, religious and catechists could be missionaries of hope among their people, looking at it from a socio-pastoral dimension. By their presence, by their daily visitation, by words of encouragement, not judgment, by praying for the people, by their simplicity of life, people should see them as one of them and one with them, not one above them. Let the people be able to say through their ministry, God has not forgotten us. In fact, as was said of Jesus, God has come to visit his people.
Once again, God never abandons us. Therefore, a major question to ask and an answer. How can we follow in the footsteps of Christ, our hope, in a world over which dark shadows loom?
Then there were questions, interventions that led to frantic discussions. Thereafter, they spread out in mini groups for a workshop to discuss and answer questions leading up to a plenary and then resolutions that will serve as guidelines for their pastoral ministry this pastoral year. One characteristic of a hope bearer is that they are always joyful. For how can one who is not a joyful person, always looking moody and gloomy, be a sign of hope or bring hope or preach hope, when by their very person and mood they show despair? They need therefore for priests, religious and catechists to always love their work and do it with joy, to wear smiles and laughter, and to be happy and joyful people. A sign that even amidst the turbulence, there is reason to hope. If no be na God, if a bad pass so. And because there is God, and God is God, there is every reason to hope, and that hope will not disappoint.
I am a catechist dedicated to be a missionary of hope, to preach the gospel to the people, to draw people to Christ by my attitude, by the way I do things, by the way I show love with the people, by the way I preach the message, because as a missionary, you need to be a Christ-like. You need to do exactly and live exactly as Christ lived. No matter what, no matter the obstacle, no matter the difficulties, I will be example to preach the message, to bring hope, to encourage people in times of difficulties, in time of need.
I'm called to be a missionary of hope, and to do this, I am called to spread out kindness and compassion. And this I have to do with deep prayer and meditation each day, so that Christ can give me the strength to be able to practice out this compassion by listening to others without judging them, by listening to them with that genuine love. And again, I'm called to be a beacon of hope. How can I be this beacon of hope? I am called to be a light in the activities I do each day. How do I talk to my patients? How do I care for them in the hospital? How do I care for my sisters in the hospital? I need to practice this with so much love and so much dedication, believing that all comes from Christ, and to him all the glory is to be given. Be a missionary of hope. I need to be a good listener and to be open-minded, not to judge a person from the story they share, but to be open to love the person from the story they share. That's one of the things I'm going to do, and then I'm going to pray and love and live out what the Holy Father has asked us to live and to be a good missionary.
Sister Antonia Lowe Ayuvia. I'm a missionary sister of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary, and I'm working here in Kumba in charge of vocations promotion. be a missionary of hope, I am called to make this hope visible in the world through my little acts of kindness and love. And it begins right from my community where I live with my sisters, and I begin to show this love in the care I show to them, being there for them, and my presence is actually very important. So I begin by being present for them, and I move out from my community. Having witnessed to the love of Christ in my community, I take this love out to the world, to the people I work with, especially with the young people. Working with vocation, I get to encounter so many young people, and working with them, I am called to live this hope, to give them this hope, and to help them to know that there is still hope in this our world that is almost hopeless. There is still hope left in us, and so by my acts of kindness, love and care, I am able to lead by example. So I hope to be a sign of hope by the way I live, by my presence in the society. There are many people who are longing to just have somebody to listen to them, to have somebody to talk with, and this program has helped me. Participating here has helped me and giving me ways that I can really be a sign of hope in the society.
I'm going back filled with joy and with a lot of hope and enthusiasm that I call as a priest, a missionary to the people. I am called to serve everybody, and all peoples includes everyone, the marginalized, the discriminated, the poor, the rich. And I am going back as a priest to see that everyone is inclusive in my work as a missionary, bringing the gospel of Jesus, which is the gospel of hope, giving hope of salvation, giving hope of better days to come, giving hope that though they are broken now, they can be healed, though they are marginalized, they will be incorporated in society and no one is left out. I'm going also to actually put into consideration and actually notice all those who in the past years have been considered out, left out or put at the margin. That is the widows, the orphans in my community. I think personally I'm going to start something, probably a program to give them hope, to talk with them, to make them feel that the church is with them, God still loves them, God still have them in mind, and the church has not abandoned them. And I'm also going to say that they are also represented in the parish pastoral council. Our orphans, those who are widows, we'll see how we can have a representative of them in the pastoral council, so that when we are sharing our plan, our pastoral plan and pastoral activities, they also have someone who can represent and speak for them and actually make them see their needs and all that they are going through, to see that we journey together as missionaries of hope among all peoples.
First of all, I would like to appreciate the diocese for organizing such an activity each year, which is very, very important, and it helps us to shape our diocese. And being a missionary of hope entails witnessing, and not just as a priest, but as a priest and as well as a son or a child of God, because we witness as catechists, we witness as Christians, we witness as priests. And after this seminar, one thing that is striking, as it is going on, one thing that is striking is that the seminar is enlightening us, or enlightening me as an individual, on how I am supposed to carry out this activity in my parish. First, by helping the Christians to get in touch with nature, by helping them to improve themselves, to sustain the church from where they find themselves, like some cultural activities, like farming, to help them to sustain themselves in order that they can bear witness by participating in the mission of the diocese, as the diocese has it in mind. So witnessing is something very important, as the Holy Father has enlightened us, that we have to be a renewed people, such that no matter how things are calm, no matter how things seem to be sleeping, but there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, so this is how I think that I will have to go back now and also go back and give them a seminar on this, so that it should not be left fleeting and it should not be left on papers. I will have to organize a seminar in order to explain to them what I have learned from here and how we can carry it out at our own level, not also forgetting the pastoral plan, which helps us to put in place the various necessary means by which the church can grow in our diocese.